and welcome to Accesa TechTalks. This is our first episode, and I'm really happy to kick it off. Accesa TechTalks is about bringing our expertise and experience with IT and business leaders. In each episode, we plan to have meaningful conversations with our internal experts, but also our strategic partners. And we plan to cover topics like application modernization, AI, hyperautomation, but also digital transformation. We actually deal with these topics day by day in our operations, so we aim to share from our real experiences. Who am I? I'm Radu Vingan. Feel free to call me Radu. I've been with the company for 8 years in various roles, covering product delivery, project management, and also portfolio management. I've led several projects within manufacturing and financial, and have had more or less contact with all the topics mentioned above. Um, I'm happy to host this series, and I'm looking forward to also learn a lot of stuff together with you. Today, we're kicking it off with a courageous topic. It is called Why Modernizing Your Legacy Software is Essential Before Doing Anything with AI. I'm thrilled to be joined by Ovidiu Negus. Ovidiu is a software architect and one of our leading experts when it comes to application modernization. And also, my first common project with Ovidiu dates back 8 years. I think time flies really fast, Ovidiu. We have consistent history of working together. I've learned a lot from him, which makes me even happier to share the stage today at our first episode. Ovidiu, can you tell us a bit about yourself before jumping to our questions?
Sure. Hey Radu, and thank you for having me. My name is Ovidiu Negus, and I'm a software architect and consultant with over 15 years of experience modernizing IT systems. I helped a lot of industrial clients update their legacy system to modern cloud platform and prepare their infrastructure for new technologies.
That's excellent. I know you have extensive experience also with the manufacturing industry. So you must have seen how important legacy software modernization is for various customers and companies. Can you first explain what this really means? What is legacy software software modernization?
Yeah. Application modernization means updating old software and system to new technologies. This includes changing from big single system to smaller and more connected parts, moving from physical servers to cloud systems, or using better ways to build and update software. It basically bringing old technology to up to date.
Hmm. This is pretty clear. We hear about AI a lot, about how AI is transforming businesses, but we don't hear so much about the foundation that makes AI successful in the first place when it comes to projects. From your experience, why is application modernization so critical before even starting with the first AI initiative?
Application modernization is the foundation for successful AI because artificial intelligence can only be as good as the data and system it works with. Think of it like building a house. You don't put solar panels on a crumbling foundation. Modernization creates the digital infrastructure that allows artificial intelligence to access clean, consistent data across your organization. AI doesn't fix broken processes, it just accelerates and scale what you already have.
Okay. Um, let's understand what kind of mistakes other make. What tends to happen when businesses try to jump to AI without first modernizing anything?
Yeah, when company rush into AI without modernizing their legacy infrastructure first, the results are often disappointing. What typically happens is three things. First, you get incomplete insights because AI can only access partial data. Second, you create technical debt that becomes even harder to untangle later. And third, maybe most damaging, you create resistance to future digital initiatives in your company because people remember that failed AI project.
Mm. Maybe as a business leader, I don't really know I have a problem yet. Um, how do I know it's time to modernize my software? Are there any clear signs?
Sure, there are several warning signs that your application landscape is crying out for modernization. First, look at your operational speed. When simple changes to products, pricing, or business rules requires months of IT work across multiple systems, now that's a red flag. Second, examine your data consistency. If different departments argue continuously about whose numbers are correct during meetings, then your application are not effectively integrated. And third, listen to your frontline staff. When employee creates shadow IT solutions like complex spreadsheets or unofficial databases to work around your system, that's also a clear signal. And finally, the most obvious sign is when your IT budget is dominated by maintaining legacy system.
Okay, from your perspective, what should companies prioritize as their first steps on their modernization journey?
You should start with a business focused assessment rather than a technology focused one. First, identify and prioritize the business capabilities that drive the most value. Second, create a clear data strategy. Map where your critical business data lives and how it flows between systems. Then, this will become your modernization roadmap. And finally, invest in your people. To give you an example, in one of my previous projects, we created cross-functional teams and make sure that we solve real business problems rather than just implementing new technology for its own sake.
I imagine that wasn't really easy for you guys, and I know you had experience with multiple projects that um, encountered challenges. What are some of the common pitfalls you've seen companies fall in when they modernize? And maybe you can also share with us how they should avoid them from your experience.
Common pitfalls is treating modernization just as a technology project rather than a business transformation. One of our customers made this mistake by focusing on updating technology without reimagining their processes. So be aware of like for like migration that simply move old processes to new technology without improvement. Another one is to do not underestimate the data challenge. Many companies focus on application functionality, but discover too late that the data migration and quality issue consume most of the project budget.
Okay, so processes, data. Um, Before we wrap up, if you could give us one single piece of advice to business, but also IT leaders who know they need to modernize, but are really unsure where to start because we encounter analysis paralysis most of the times, and we need a bit of clarity at the beginning.
One piece of advice is to approach modernization as a business strategy exercise, not a technical refresh. Start by clearly defining what business outcomes you want to achieve and work backward from there. Don't try to modernize everything all at once. Create a prioritized roadmap based on the business impact, not technical elegance. Modernization is ultimately about creating possibilities for your business. Technology is just an enabler, and keep your focus on the outcomes.
What do you think if we end with a success story? Can you think of an example where modernization had a very positive impact in your experience?
Yeah, it was this company who had custom built product planning system developed in the 90s, I think.
Okay, so that's 30 years ago.
Yeah, the original developers had retired in the meantime, and the system had become their black box. So our approach was to assemble cross-functional teams with IT specialists and business veterans from the customer side. Then we created a visualization tool that helped the business experts see the hidden logic and validate In this way, our understanding. So the knowledge extraction process what proved essential in this case. The modernizing system actually improved their core algorithms. And in the meantime, eliminating loss of exceptions they build up over time. So the business impact was remarkable.
Thank you very much, Ovidiu. Thank you for your insights, for sharing from your experience. What a useful and valuable conversation we had today. I think we've covered some really important ideas. It's clear, first and foremost, modernization isn't about or isn't only about fixing old technology. It's also about preparing for AI, for automation, and for future opportunities that will at some point arise. We also explored why trying to deploy AI on top of systems that are outdated can set you up for real failure. And thirdly, how much of a difference it makes to recognize the right signs and tackle them with smart steps, even from the beginning. Looking back to our discussion of video, I loved one of your advices, which was treat modernization as a strategic investment in your company's future agility and innovation, not just about a technical project. You said that several times, and I think this really should be noted down by us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you found today's episode valuable, make sure you don't miss the rest of the Accesa Tech Talks series. Subscribe now on Bright Talk for early access to our upcoming episodes, but you should also follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn for different clips and highlights with our colleagues and also, as I said, with our partners. We're also just getting started. This was the first episode. Coming up in the second episode, we'll dive deeper into hyper automation. What does it really mean? What's it all about? And how can businesses rethink their operations using intelligent automation strategies? I'm curious to find out more. Thanks again for joining us today. I hope you liked it. And I really hope you noted down at least one practical idea that you can apply from tomorrow already. And I'll see you soon at Accesa Tech Talks.